It finally feels like fall out. And it's a very welcomed feeling. After a September and early October of 80 degrees, we are ready for fall bites. Breathe it in. Oh, fall air finally. 34 degrees this morning, coming off a stretch of like 70, 80 degrees, very unseasonably warm weather. We got water temps down to 63 degrees now, and it finally feels like fall, which is a very welcome change. As filming summer bites over and over, it's just kind of similar, and then I start getting hungry for a change, so the fall bite is on. I don't know if this is going to turn into a video, because I have no idea if this bite's going to be happening yet, but we're going to go out today and try to do one of my favorite things for fall walleye fishing, which is this very shallow bite on some reaction baits. So not necessarily going to be a huge numbers thing. We hope to catch a few decent ones. We'll see. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm just excited that it's cold and fish should be changing their pattern here. All right. Well, I haven't been on this lake in, dang, probably close to like a month now. Water temps cooled down a lot. Cold out this morning. Glad we got this wind. It looks like there's going to be some overcast kind of staying on us here after this last of this little bit of morning sunshine fades away. I don't want to jinx this, but what I hope to do today is find some of these fish. This is going to be the first step here. Find some of these fish in some real shallow water. And a lot of times what you see happen when these fish start coming back shallow out of some basin areas when summer turns into fall is they'll get up in some real skinny water where there's a ton of bait fish moving back to, and they'll be biting things like suspending jerk baits. So that's the hope. Is it going to happen? Couldn't tell you. We're going to find out probably over the course of the next several hours. But we're going to be running side imaging, Mega Live 2, hunt around up here, weeds, sand. Wherever we're seeing a lot of bait is generally this time of year, that's what it's all about. So if you can get somewhere shallow, find a ton of bait, likely there's going to be some predators around it. Oh, so happy it's fall finally. Fall walleye fishing. Maybe shoot a grouse this weekend. Maybe sit in a tree stand. It's the best time of year. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. Wow, dude. This has got to be a bass though, right? Oh no! I was so unprepared for that. That's literally my first cast. Had to be a bass, right? Just kind of give me like those kind of head shakes. Look at all this bait fish up here. My screen's almost like fogged from all the bait. All this shading is all bait fish in here. Come on. Right there. Got him. Oh no, dude. Am I just out of practice on the jerkbait? What's going on? Yep. There we go, baby. There we go, baby. Finally got one on the jig and the minnow. They seem just a little bit hesitant. I've had one or two now bite the jerkbait and not hook up to them. Immediately pitched back in with the old sucker minnow. And boom, baby. Fish on. Not a giant one, but we'll take them. We'll take them. It feels so good to be back shallow. I just can't tell you guys how much. Fish it all summer long and miss the shallow water grind. And just on an absolutely gorgeous fall day like this, dude. First, like, real cold day of the year. Hard frost last night. Oh, I love it. I love it. And nobody at the boat landing. That's the other greatest part about this time of year. It's a pretty good 1-2 punch right there. You know, throw that jerkbait around for some little bit more aggressive fish. If you need to slow down here or miss one, I'll just right away back it up with a jig and a bigger minnow like that. 1/8 ounce show jig and a bigger sucker minnow. There we go, baby. I'm going to keep throwing the jerkbait though, because it's 10 times as fun. We may switch up jerkbaits. I don't know. I got one of these Mavericks on, I believe is what they're called right now, in black and gold, which is normally like a standby color for me. Yep, right there. Got that one. About time, baby. See how long I just played with that one? That's not a big one, but oh, is that a fun way to catch them though, man. Love it, love it, love it. Seen a bunch of these smaller marks on this spot. I don't know if we'll spend a little bit more time here, but if we have to move, we will. Finally got one to eat it though. He was real hesitant too. That's kind of the deal right there. Love it. The funnest part about jerkbaits is just playing with fish like that. Like, you're constantly like twitching it, pausing it, gauging their reaction, deciding what you're gonna do with your next twitch. Sometimes it seems like, you know, 3-4 hard twitches right when they start chasing the deal. Other times it seems like just leaving it there and doing a small twitch. You never really know. It's kind of day to day. I don't think they're like fully engaged in fall yet, which is understandable, as you know, we just haven't had this fall weather. Yep, smashed it, smashed it, smashed it, dude. Nothing better than a jerkbait tick on the paws type of bite. We're on a whole wad of them up here now. I honestly, you guys probably think like, oh, Tom came out here yesterday. He knew they were gonna be up shallow. I had no idea. I've actually filmed a whole bunch of stuff in the past week. Some of it'll be for walleye now, some of it'll be for the future. And then I bombed like 2 days in a row of fishing. Flip you in, buddy. He's kind of getting pretty borderline fat and sassy for a boat flip right there. Look at that. There's nothing better than a fall jerkbait. When you're pausing it, you just feel that line, pink. Got one. It feels good, you know, so much of that late summer time frame, I feel like we were fishing a lot of live bait. And we always, as walleye anglers, have a little bit of live bait in the boat, right? But to be able to come out here and catch them just on a stick bait again warms my heart, because that might be one of the funnest bites in walleye fishing. You guys bored of this spot yet? Should we move around? It's crazy how quick that switch happens, you know? Like, a lot of times it's just I don't even know has so much to do with water temp as it does like, you know, like seasonal, like the length of the day or the moon or whatever. But clearly we got water temps in the low to mid 60s and there's already fish up in some of these real skinny water areas. These big shoreline points and flats are the kind of spots I like. Long, big, slow taper. A lot less windy right here. Alright, kind of want to show you guys one thing that I use a lot on Mega Live too. If you look at the screen right now, everything's pretty hot, which can be a good way or a bad way to run it. Now on a quick pan here, are you really seeing anything? Maybe some of you are, some of you aren't. Obviously, I'm swinging my trolling motor right now. Now, if you come down here and hit this auto button in the lower left-hand corner where it says 20 here, it's going to kick it over to auto. Now, what do you see now? Obviously, a bunch of walleyes right here, right? That auto feature is going to kind of optimize everything automatically, obviously. Now, the one thing you can do additionally, if you can see these walleyes out here, let's say you're like, I want it a touch hotter, but still in auto. You can come over here to your settings, and you can like drop your contrast out a little bit. This is gonna fog everything up a little bit more. But one thing you will get is generally better bait tracking and clarity if you drop that contrast out a little bit once you're in auto. So these fish are obviously pretty close right here. Obviously no problem watching that bait go down. There's a fish right on me right now. Is he gonna bite? No, probably a little bit close to him. So you can kind of play with it that way. The other thing I'll do, like if you want it the hottest, reading everything really sharp, which a lot of times I get asked, like, why does it look so cluttered and everything? I actually like fishing it that way a lot. So this might be a little bit of a stretch right here, a little bit hotter. But what you're going to see is, let's find some, there's a couple right here. Let's throw it out on that. Obviously everything is much hotter now going down, which I can totally understand why some people might hate looking at it this way. Some people might like looking at it this way. See if a walleye is going to bite here. No, we pretty much burned this little school up. But those are kind of the two adjustments I'll use. I'll either throw it in auto for like maximum clarity, or the other thing I'll do, I'll just keep it real hot in regular mode. I'll keep that sensitivity generally real high. Like you can see here on the right side, I'll kind of play with that sensitivity and contrast. Now, if you want like the ultimate in best bait tracking, what you can do is drop sensitivity out and then start dropping your contrast out. And this clutters everything up a little bit fuzzy. If you want it the clearest, keep that contrast real high, drop that sensitivity out. So it's kind of the couple ways you can play with this, obviously on Mega Live, or just come down here and flip it over to auto, and you're gonna be looking at that much cleaner looking screen where you can see through cover a lot more. Got him right there, baby. That's feeling good. That's feeling real good. Had to throw the jig at one of them. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. I don't know if that whole jerkbait was just like a right away in the morning thing. We still got good wind. Oh yeah, it's a nice walleye. Look at him, man. Wow. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, look at him. Beautiful walleye right there, man. Fall, baby. Oh, I'm stepping on a rod. Stepping on a rod. Scoop you up. Scoop you up. There we go. There's a bunch of them on this spot. They're getting a little bit fickle, but can't complain. I mean, it's still pretty early in the morning. Clouds are kind of burning off a little bit now. It's kind of that in-between water temp where, like, do you fish a minnow? Do you fish a crawler? Beauties. My favorite walleyes in all of walleye fishing. Beautiful Goldie northern Wisconsin walleyes out of these Clearwater lakes. They're my favorite fish of all time right there. See you later, dude. See all this bait? This is the big shift that happens. It's like the second you start getting those water temps starting to cool, especially into that mid 60-degree range, you get this like mass resurgence of bait out of the basin and up onto some structure again. And obviously it doesn't take a genius to figure out what happens next. Yep. Right there, baby. Right there. This one's just running. This is going to be a good fish. Look at him, dude. Wow. Heavy. We're about due for a good one, aren't we? Come on, girl. We're sitting here in 13 feet of water, which for a lake that gets, 90, 100 feet deep, this is some pretty shallow stuff. I can see him down there. Come here. Oh my goodness, dude. They're just kind of starting to get in these locations. You can kind of tell because they're not super like schooled up. It's like, oh, here's a couple. And then it's like, oh, here's a couple kind of in between. Wow, look at that walleye right there, dude. Look at that walleye. Oh my goodness, dude. What a toad of a fall walleye. We're having fun. It's kind of, I kind of keep saying like I'm shocked that these fish are already doing this kind of stuff. Because we have not had like any fall weather this year. It's been like the warmest, late September, October I can remember. Look at that. What a toad, man. I mean, that is what fall is all about right there. Beautiful fall walleyes, my man. That's about as pretty as they get too. It's probably a 26er, I'd say. But out of one of these smaller lakes, that is a pretty good fish. There she goes. Back down. It's kind of, we're getting them on minnows, crawlers, and jerkbaits. Seems like the jerkbait thing, kind of since I lost some of this wind, has really slowed up. We'll still try it on some other spots today, but the jig crawler, when they get real fickle, jig minnow is kind of a pitch back, and then the jerkbait if you got some good wind. From my experience, the jerkbait and the minnow will obviously keep getting better and better and better as we kind of work our way further into fall. We're just at the very early stages of this kind of all starting right now. So if you're going out, when you start seeing water temps drop below that 60-degree range, which will for sure be happening soon, stick to basically those two. No need for crawlers anymore. I feel like I fish a lot more 1/8 ounce jigs now than I used to. And not touching the bottom. Like we used to kind of obviously jig fishing. Every time we cast out, we just touch the bottom. One thing, especially in the shallow water, I do a lot, and you could translate this to if you're someone who's not using forward-facing sonar, is touching the bottom not that important. So a lot of times what you could just do is obviously cast your bait out, especially if you're in 4 to 13 feet of water, just kind of pull it along, maybe let it touch bottom once in a while, but don't get so caught up in that. A lot of these lakes, these fish like biting it a lot more above their head. So, obviously sometimes you can just let it fall down to kind of get an idea where you're at in the water column. But don't be afraid to just fish kind of jigs, almost like half reeling, half twitching it now and again, because that's certainly how they like it. One thing that I try to do a better job at each year is getting more dialed on my waypoint system, especially this time of year. Because when you start finding fish back in shallow water in this, fall time frame, these are the same spots in which we're going to be doing a lot of ice fishing over. And I've talked about this in the past, but so important ice fishing, you want to know that exact spot, because so many of these spots are big weed beds, right? And if you just set your tip up or start your shack right on top of the big tall milfoil clump right on top of it, you're going to catch 0 walleyes. You want to be on the outside edge, or you want to be right in these little passageways through the weeds where the walleyes relate to. So especially this time of year, I am not afraid to drop a lot of waypoints. In a summer, in a basin bite, I might not drop a lot of waypoints because they're just kind of big, vague areas that I'm roaming through. But this time of year, I drop a lot of waypoints. Now you can see kind of how the track that I've gone through fishing this second spot of the day here. And one really cool tool on the Humminbird is if I come over here to this upper right-hand corner where it's got this little map waypoint icon, click on that, hit draw to select, right? So now all I can do, I can draw a circle around these waypoints right here, right? As you guys can see. And then it's real easy to come up here to this export button. Now, I can either link my phone to this, as you're going to see on the right side here. I don't have any cards or my phone connected right now. All you do is hit export to one of these, and it's going to pop it over to my card, which I can then put in another graph. And this is generally what happens when I get home. Or before I go on another trip, I might say, hey, I want these for my ice fishing unit, pull them, dump them, right? Or you can upload it right to your Humminbird app on your phone, the One Boat Network app. So this is kind of one thing that kind of goes on behind the scenes a lot of times, but I think it makes you a lot more dialed. What you used to look at before was basically, and to my knowledge with other graphs, you'd have to go through and individually do this process right here. Select that waypoint, tap the waypoint, hit export down here in the lower corner, export it to a certain device, or you could go through a giant list of waypoints not knowing what any of them are, right? So this is one super simple way. I'll do it one more time here just so you see it. Tap this icon in the upper right hand corner, draw to select, circle. Let's say maybe I just want these 2 waypoints, right? Boom, export those, and now I have those ones. So just one little thing on how kind of all this stuff kind of works together. It makes you a lot more efficient, whether you're really in a boat or on a snowmobile trying to catch walleyes when it's freezing cold outside. Big head shakes. Big old head shakes, baby. Big old head shakes on her. That's what you want right there. Unbelievable. What a ridiculously fun day. I don't know how you top that for the first official day of fall. These are my favorite fall days. When you wake up and it's like 30 degrees outside, it's frost on everything, you catch some fish, the clouds burn off, and by like 11 a.m. it's like 50 degrees and just bliss. Light north wind. It's literally everything you could want in a fall day. And we got a lot more servings of this to serve up this fall, as we're just kind of getting into fall time water temps, which is exciting. There's been some locations which I've been waiting to go to just for fall, just to see something different, you know, a nice little change of scenery, change of pace. Well, my friends, not much more can ask for the first nice fall weathery day. These are the days we've been dreaming about for like 3 months now. Wasn't sure what else I could do in that video. I actually just stood out there, cameras off, listening to a little music in the boat, caught a few more fish. It's just such a beautiful day. You just gotta soak it in. Because excited we are as fall, we know what season comes next. And I wish fall was about 6 months long, but I appreciate you guys watching. If you are a Walleye Now app member or wannabe, I have a ton of new content on there over the course of the last couple of weeks. So go over there, check that out. Obviously, we'll keep the train rolling all the way into fall. Don't worry, we have some more Hunt for the Ones planned. Some cool fall trips that I hope we can make turn into videos. And I appreciate you guys allowing me to do my job every day. So thanks for watching. Have a great fall. We'll see you guys in the next one.